Now then, people, it's Joe, it's all Leeds TV, and we're back for another transfer and news daily update. We didn't put one out yesterday. It was obviously after the playoff final. Things were pretty quiet, but news has started to drip through again. Don't just want to do it for the sake of doing it. I know we've called it daily, but if there's nothing to put out, then we're not going to put it out, right? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Listen, we did the watch along for the Fulham Brentford playoff final. Game itself, absolute drab. Absolute wonder strike from Joe Bryan to set them on the way. And of course, Fulham won 2-0. I mean, Twitter has been a sight to behold. Square ball, everyone on top form, absolutely giving it Brentford. Listen, I've said it and I'll say it again. Leeds fans never forget. And there's a load of stuff like Leeds are falling apart again. And then obviously retweets with Brentford fans, etc. Listen, you're going to get egg on your face if your manager's coming out saying we're going to win. If your players are coming out and saying we're going to win. We had a similar situation at Leeds when he said Leeds fear us, then Fulham feared us. I think the big key thing for me, and I've seen it said on Twitter, was the fact that if you look at the difference, the disparity between Fulham's reaction after they beat Cardiff, down Scotty Parker has a chat with them, whether or not you rate Scotty Parker or not, he has a chat with them on the pitch, says it's not done, let's go again, bam. Brentford go on like they've won the final. It was shades of Derby against us. You know, Brentford, look, they were outside the ground celebrating, got the final. There was none of that went down at Fulham. And I just think the experience told in the end. Fulham were there only 2 seasons ago. Brentford lost nine playoff finals in total. That's absolutely brutal. And they call us ball jobs, right? But listen, it was all Fulham, aren't we, on this channel? It was all Fulham, aren't we, from Leeds United fans because of the links with their top pros, with the likes of Watkins and Ben Rama. There's been a lot of shade thrown at them both, I think, from fans, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I think, personally, they would increase the quality of our squad no end. But again, football is a game of opinions. Yes, they didn't show up the other night, but that can happen. And I think, for me, yes, 50 million for them both probably is a little bit pricey, but I think they would increase the level of our squad no end. Watkins has got an 18 million release cost, so although they want 50, it's highly unlikely they're going to get 50. And of course, they're going to come out and say, we want to go 50 for both. They're not going to come out and say, yeah, we'll take 40. Do you know what I mean? So there's a little bit of kidology there. But I think, personally, just my opinion, let me know your thoughts, that Ben Rama and Watkins would improve this squad no end. You then get your centre-backs in, whether or not that's Ben White, Senesai, Foyth, whoever it may be, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on. A replacement keeper or an understudy or a number one, whatever it may be. And I'd be happy with that as a window. But as was pointed out to me yesterday, you're spending about 100 million there already. So you can get carried away as a fan. But I think that would be a great window because I think we're decent anywhere else. I mean, if we can get Matty Longstaff, I'm proper on board with that. It's gone very quiet, but I know others are as well. He's a Yorkshire lad. He's talented. He only wants, say, 30k a week. He's on feck all at the minute. Just give him it. But again, that's me as a fan just spending the money. It's not my money, so I don't care kind of attitude. You know what I mean? But let's see what unfolds. But let's start with some news for you. Phil here did an article this morning in The Athletic. He did a piece with Victor Orta, who's been spotted in Manchester Airport this morning. If you haven't seen it, it is on our Twitter. It is doing the rounds. He was in airport. Where he was going or who he was meeting, who knows? But this is the thing with Leeds United, and a lot of the names that were linked in the original Athletic article I brought you, some of them we'd never even heard of, and it wouldn't even surprise me if Orta's on his way or is due to meet someone we've never even heard of. Do you know what I mean? Because they are pretty good at keeping their links and their prospective signings pretty low-key, Leeds United, I've found, under this new regime. But in that piece, it was said that they believe Marcelo Bielsa will sign his new contract ahead of Wednesday. Why Wednesday? Well, the lads are back in training. Have a read of the article, but just to go through the excerpt itself, it says Leeds are more than 2 weeks on from promotion now and just over 5 weeks away from the new season. It's coming around quick, guys. But Orta is optimistic. We're having very positive talks with Marcelo daily. He says we're hoping that we're going to be working towards the Premier League season with him because we're planning a really good project there. Sources close to Bielsa are equally confident that a deal will be announced before his players resume training at Thorpe Arch on Wednesday. I mean, it's the world's best, worst kept secret. I think we all know he's going to come. I see a lot of comments, people getting worried in the comments that maybe that deal won't happen. Have faith. Bielsa will be here. I mean, he was pictured yesterday on a first bus with a day rider on his way. I don't know where he was going because normally he likes to walk to training from Wetherby. Into Four Parks, but it was on a bus, so he might have just been going on a day trip. I don't know. Maybe he was going out to check, and I'm going to jump ahead, his latest mural. I mean, what a piece of artwork that is. Much like they do in Argentina, there has been a mural done of the man himself. I can't wait to be down in Leeds again so I can get my picture next to that. At Pants Danny, Andy McVeigh's been involved with that. He's had a bit of a rough time of late, so our support from the channel goes out to Andy. But there's the tweet itself. Nicholas Dixon and Andy took part in that. It's Nick's concept and trademark shapes. He's done stuff all over the world. He threw in ideas too, and they painted it together. It took a week. Weren't paid or anything, but it was definitely worth it, and he hopes we all love it. And if you just look at that, there's plenty more pictures on Twitter. There's one next to the Newell's English Old Boys for the one over in Argentina, but that is a thing of beauty, and hats off to both Nicholas Dixon and Andy McVeigh. And who says that Bielsa might be on first bus just to go check that out? I doubt it though, because like I say, he's a low-key man, isn't he? And I'm going to bring this up next at Sanders Design. Thank you so much for this. He said we could use it. We shouted him out on the stream the other night. I love it. Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course, but Raiders of Brentford. And that was our tweet after the game. And the reason I brought that in, because I want to have a chat about the pair of them. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, because my opinion is get them. Because I've said it at the start of the video. I'll say it again. I think they would improve this squad no end. No end. Watkins can play anywhere across the front three. He's fit. He runs all day. He hassles. He harries. He could, debutise or replace Bamford in games. I think he's ideal for us, and Ben Rama's got that little bit of magic. If you were to ask me now, would I prefer him to Costa? Yes. Would I prefer him to Jack Harrison? Yes. That's just my opinion, guys. He might not give the work rate that these do, but you need that little bit of magic in the Premier League, and it's just my opinion. But get them both in, and it's no surprise. I mean, it says here Marcelo Bielsa's sides are already ready in a bid for 25 million rated Brentford forward side Ben Rama. Look, West Ham and Villa are linked. I've even seen this morning that Tottenham are looking at him, and of course Chelsea are looking at Ben Rama. So that shows you the level of teams that are looking at him, and maybe they can afford the luxury to have them luxury players more so than what we can, because our overall quality isn't as high as a Tottenham or a Chelsea. But for me, he's someone that would improve this squad no end. And of course, Ollie Watkins as well. There's a trio of clubs linked with Watkins. Villa, Sheffield United, Palace are all interested. And Brentford are set to demand 25 million. Whether or not he's got that 18 million release clause is yet to be seen. That's from the YEP guys. But look, Dean Smith was at the game doing some reporting for Sky. He worked with him previously at Brentford. Villa might look at that. So I genuinely thought this would be cut and dried. Leeds would be in, get them done. But I was wrong. They're hot property. They're wanted from teams in the division. And there's a reason for that. And hopefully Leeds can get involved and get them deals done. But I do want to know your thoughts in the comments, whether or not you'd be willing to pay up to 50 million for them. Do you want both? Do you just want one? Let me know, because my opinion is get them both in the door. But please let me know your thoughts on that. This one also that was in the YEP. Sheffield United have seen an improved 4 million bid for John Swift turned down by Reading. He's also been the radar of Leeds United. Listen, I love John Swift. I think he's absolutely top draw. And if Sheffield United are putting in 4 million and it's getting turned down and people are saying we'll maybe spend, that's the sort of deal for that type of money that we need to be getting involved with. Just my opinion, because he fits our side, guys. He's a Pablo replacement. I know Josh Hobbs of All Stats aren't we? He's a massive fan of him as well. Has done bits on him. Sees him as a replacement for Pablo. And for that sort of money, get in there. I know we've been linked with the other kid at Reading, Elise, but for me, get in there for John Swift at that sort of money. Just go in and gazump Sheffield United. Maybe he wants that move to Sheffield United. I think we missed a trick on missing out on Norwood last season. Do you know what I mean? Sheffield United, we're in that same sort of market as them. Whether or not they have the money to stump up for a Watkins and Ben Rama, I'm not too sure. But listen, let's go toe-to-toe with Sheffield United and try and get John Swift in the door. Let me know your guys' thoughts, but I proper rate John Swift. Moving on as well, it has been reported this time that Leeds United are getting closer to sealing a £15 million deal for Tottenham Hotspur defender Juan Foyth. This is one for me that we won't have no competition with and can get done and will get done. And I think, look, we need options in, regardless if Ben White is the man or it could be Senesai. I've seen a lot said about him. We mentioned it the other day. I know. People are massive fans of Senesai, and he's Argentinian, and of course he's going to be linked. But could you have Foyth and Senesai? Could you have Foyth and White come in? But I think, and I see it being done, the easier option of all them is probably Foyth, and I do think we will get that deal over the line. He's been linked season after season, window after window, and I think maybe we stump up that fee for Juan Foyth. Let me know your thoughts on that as well, guys. Of course, Joe Geldhart, we mentioned earlier on in the week, and Charlie Allen, both close to getting done. Charlie Allen's ineffectively done anyway. Exciting talent. I mentioned it on the live stream the other night. Been round Liverpool, been round City training grounds, shown round, but that link, Northern Ireland link, Stewie D, of course, David Healy's up there working at Linfield, has got that over the line. He's only a young kid, but one that excites me for the future. You've got Joe Geldhart as well. Ryan Edmondson went out on loan as well, guys, and did well when coming off the bench. So there's things happening, but the big one for me, and one which might rumble on for the next week or so, maybe even longer later into the window, is Benrahma and Watkins. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've enjoyed doing this one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll leave it there. So I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow, provided there's more news to go through. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.